I'd just like to welcome everyone to our third Clifford Gouldson Legal Scope via the Periscope app. This morning we welcome Clifford Gouldson Director Ben Gouldson. And Ben, I noticed today you're surrounded by a bit of artwork in the background there. Perhaps you could tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks, John. Good morning, everybody. Yes, we've been very fortunate over the last 8 to 10 weeks to have our third annual Artist in Residence program running here at CG Law. This year we had Laura Douglas, who's a really well-known artist now based in Toowoomba, who's done work for people as well-known as Gabe Waterhouse and the Packer family, come into our office each week, spend some time here doing her artwork, painting some art, teaching our staff about painting and drawing and really involving them in that sort of artistic experience. That culminated last Friday with an auction night where we hosted an event, celebrated Laura's time with us and held an auction of some of her art, some of which you see behind me, to raise funds for Muscular Dystrophy Queensland. And it was a great night and we really enjoyed it.
All right, excellent. Thanks for that. Can I ask you, for those that might be viewing that don't know you, have you been in the legal industry for long?
I've been around a little while now, John. Around 20 years I've been in the legal industry, and I guess in that time I've been very fortunate to see a wide range of legal matters crossing a wide range of practice areas, and principally over that time as a litigator, where you're sort of exposed to the best and the worst of business dealings and what can happen with business dealings.
All right. Perhaps we can get you to give us a bit of an example then of a good hint or a good tip for businesses when they're dealing with other businesses in deals or in disputes, those sort of things, something they can take away?
Yeah, that's a really good point, John. From my perspective, something that is a common theme that shows up a lot in litigation disputes is the absence of clear written evidence about what was agreed between the parties. Obviously, it's always best practice to reduce what was agreed into a written contract and have clarity around what each party obligation is to the other party. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes in the cut and thrust of business day-to-day activities, there's no time or people don't recognise the need for that clear record to be made. And what we find as lawyers is often if the client doesn't do that, we're then looking for the next avenue to prove the way that the agreement was struck was as our client says it was. And a really good tip around that is to keep very good contemporaneous notes and records at the time a business deal is struck. So when you're involved in doing a deal, documenting that then and there, whether it's in a diary, electronic record in a computer system, whether it's recorded, it's really a critical thing that later on, when you're in dispute and parties are restructuring, if you like, or reconcocting what the actual deal was, it's invaluable to be able to go back to those contemporaneous at the time records and notes and recordings to be able to establish this is what was agreed. And that's a big tip. You know, I've had many litigation disputes over the years where there'll be a great diary entry or note or record made that you can bring out and you can say to the other party, look, here is the clearest evidence. It was made at the time. It's a record that was made the day the deal was struck. This is what was reflected, and it's really good evidence. So that's my tip for anyone viewing this presentation today, is make sure you make good, clear records and notes. Obviously, it's preferable to document the deal or the contract, but those notes and those records are invaluable in the event of any dispute.
All right, excellent. I think that's going to be pretty useful for people to take away with them. Thank you to everyone for viewing today, this being our third Legal Scope Periscope presentation. And just a reminder, these are on every Friday, 9:45, Queensland time here in Australia. Thanks very much.